All right, folks. Today we're going to talk about overheating issues on the 2007 Honda Pilot. I already replaced the radiator and thermostat and seal, filled it up with coolant, and test drove it. Like the genius I am, I forgot to record it. So, rather than watching me wrestle parts in real time, I'm going to talk to you about what I did, why I did it, and how you can fix this problem at home yourself. Okay, so I'm going to show you the radiator, I'm going to show you the cap, what I found when I opened the cap of the radiator, and I'll also show you the thermostat and what I found with the thermostat. So let me switch camera angles here. This is the radiator. Spots for this thing to leak at would be right along the seam where the plastic tank goes onto the radiator itself. It's like crimped on there, sealed on there. And I've got some signs of leakage throughout the top here. These little dark spots here every so often. Up top isn't such a big deal, but on the bottom side, you can see right here and down here, that radiator has been leaking for quite some time. So, on the front side of it is about the same here. So, as you look, we've got leakage pretty much all the way around. So the tank on the radiator was not sealing. The thermostat is this guy here. I didn't really see anything actually wrong with this thing. There is a way that you can test these. This thermostat, I believe, is designed to open up at 170 or 100. I'd have to double check that information. 182 or something like that. And then what happens is, once it gets up to that temperature, there's a wax pellet right inside of this copper looking part here that melts down, and then the center portion opens up. I don't think I can position my hands here, but if I push on this, yeah, you can push on that center part there and let it snap. That's what opens and closes. So overheating issue, this center part here could be stuck closed. That could be one diagnosis, is if that thermostat is stuck closed and did not open while you're driving down the road. I think this one was okay, but I was right there and I wanted to replace it anyway. The guy that I got the vehicle from said that the heat didn't work that well. So I replaced it anyway. You get the thermostat, you should get a new seal too. That seal is just this rubber portion right here. So, new seal, new thermostat. I ordered everything right off of Rock Auto. I know. I should go to my local parts store, O'Reilly's, Napa, Advance. Man, I just saved a ton of money by ordering off of Rock Auto. So, radiator came from Rock Auto too. It was, I'll have to look up the brand. I don't recall the brand. But that was definitely my leakage. So diagnosing this thing, when I was diagnosing this thing, the first thing I do is I check coolant level. The reservoir itself was full, but the radiator, when I opened the cap, did not have anything in there as far as liquid goes. Here's what I found when I opened the cap up. So if you look inside, these little fins right here are supposed to be open, and for some reason I've got this, I don't know what it is for sure, probably some sort of stop leak maybe that somebody had dumped in there, hoping to get a quick fix. But there's absolutely zero flow that's going to be happening inside of that radiator. Very, very little anyway. So it's no wonder it was overheating. It's pretty bad. Alright, so how do we replace this thing? Well, it's buried underneath a bunch of plastic parts. You come over here, you remove the plastic cover here, and what you want to do is there's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 14 of these little pins right here, and you simply put a flat blade screwdriver underneath this little lip right here. This lifts up, and then the whole entire pin assembly comes out, and you rinse and repeat 13, 14 more times to get this cover off right here. Okay, underneath this cover, then we've got 2 little brackets held in with 4 10mm bolts, or 6mm bolts with 10mm heads on them. So you got 2 bracket assemblies over here, 2 over here, and then in front of this guy is going to be the radiator, the condenser, the air conditioner condenser. I can't really see it. Again, this plastic cover covers everything, but there is 1 bolt right about there where my finger is pointing that you can pull off, and then you'll be able to tilt the radiator this way. Okay, you're going to want to take off your hood latch assembly. It's 3 10mm headed bolts on the back side here. Simply position that away. And you got your upper radiator hose. Just once you get this plastic cover off, loosen the hose clamp. That hose will come off just on the top side here. We don't need to trace it down and disconnect the whole thing. While I'm in this area, the thermostat is right underneath this coolant outlet. 2, again, 6mm bolts with 10mm head on it. Take those 2 off. That pops off to the side. Take your thermostat off with the seal, replace it with a new one, and away you go. Tighten the bolts back up, torque them down to spec. And come back over here, and we're upside down now. I apologize for that, but I've got 1 cooling fan here, 2 10mm headed bolts holds this into place. You come over here, we've got another cooling fan, 2 10mm headed bolts on the top side, and then on the bottom there is 2 over on this side as well. So 4 total for this fan, and just 2 on this side. The bottom sides have little pegs that fit into holes, and then we've got some wiring and stuff that we need to just disconnect. Once you get those bolts out, you get the radiator tilted back to the front of the vehicle. The top, the driver's side cooling fan will slide up and out of there, and I was able to pull the radiator assembly with the cooling fan for the passenger side is still attached, because I had a rounded off bolt on the bottom side that I just could not get to. 2 more things. Way down on the bottom there, we've got our lower radiator hose that we need to disconnect, and then I've got 2 transmission hoses down there as well that we'll have to disconnect as well. Once you get the 2 transmission hoses, upper and lower radiator hoses off, the cooling fans disconnected, that radiator is coming out of there. Easy peasy. Alright, so we've got the radiator and thermostat both replaced. Coolant is all topped off. Let it run for a little while, made sure that there's no air. I've already test driven this thing, but I wanted to walk you through it. So when you start it up, what you're going to want to do is check underneath the hood, look at your hose connections, your upper, lower radiator hoses, your transmission cooler lines. I replaced the thermostat, so I'm going to watch around that area as well. I also want to make sure that there's no leaks from those areas. Right? That's why I'm watching them, to make sure no coolant comes out of those areas. On the test drive, what I want to do is watch the coolant gauge while I'm driving. I'm safely driving down the road. I got my eyes on the road. I glance down every so often, and I want to watch the coolant temperature gauge. Okay? I don't want that thing to go above the halfway point. Okay? Once it starts climbing above here, then I have concerns. As long as it's pretty much from this point that way, I would say that's pretty good. You should be right around that 200 degree range or under. Above here, you know, this point to the red, you're running anywhere from, well, 200 to 260. So the closer you get to 260, the worse that's going to be. Also, I turn the heater on hot, you know, and make sure I got good hot heat. That ensures me that the thermostat has opened up and it's not, you know, I don't have any issues there. One of the other reasons why I replaced the thermostat was I did have a P0128 coolant thermostat regulating code for a check engine light, and so that is another reason why I replaced that thermostat. On that test drive, you want to make sure, again, the coolant temperature stays down. If you don't have a gauge, you simply watch for the coolant. It should be like a red, looks like a thermometer type indicator on your dash. Just make sure that that does not light up. Drive it, you know, good 10-20 minutes for sure. Try to duplicate the problem as before. So if it overheated going down the highway, take it down the highway. If it overheated going around in town, stopping on stoplights and it would start overheating, you know, make sure you duplicate that to verify that this is fixed. Once you test driven it and the temperature stays down, light doesn't come on, you should be good to go. Well, that wraps up this video segment. If you found this video helpful in any way, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe for more automotive tips. Also, if you've ever dealt with overheating issues and you have questions, go ahead and drop a comment and I'll be happy to answer those questions for you or be as helpful as I can. Until the next time, we'll see ya.